Huh. I inadvertently look like the mom from the Rugrats. Not Tommy's mom, the twins' mom. She was funny. Yeah, I like the old voice actors way more than the new ones they did in the CG reboot. But I'm not here to talk about Rugrats past or present. I'm here to talk about the second half of the season 2 of Velma. And oh my god, I gotta tell you, after watching it, my mind went blank. It was almost like I completely forgot everything that happened before then. I tried to remember it and I couldn't. It was a weird feeling. I don't know what it was. Shock? Disgust? Amazement? Maybe a little bit of all mixed into a new thing I can't describe? Yeah, it was weird. It was very, very, very weird. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it. Scrappy Doo, the annoying nephew of Scooby-Doo, was our big bad guy in season 2 of Velma, played by Jason Mendoza. And I love that guy. I love his voice acting. You would think him constantly being typecast as the wacky nut job would get tiring, but no, I think he delivers so well in every piece. I do. I'm not sick of him yet. He's a delight. And Scrappy in this, yeah, is terrifying, is gross. I gotta tell you, those 6 nipples haunt my dreams. But as a dog lover, I totally think his actions are justified. Yes, I strongly believe that dogs are all born pure-hearted and good, no matter what size or breed, and then people drive them crazy. And that is exactly what happened to Scrappy. He is just voicing it. Does that make him less scary? No! But yeah, if it was me, I would just help Scrappy. I would be the one to point to them. There, they went that way. I would be that person for Scrappy. He needs it. The fact that his accomplice is called Uncle Scooby, wow. Here's another spoiler. Uncle Scooby, the accomplice of our, genetically modified, government nightmare that is Scrappy Doo, was actually Velma's stepmom. And Velma realizes this when she realizes that some of the actions of the bad guy were caused, or, the bad guy didn't directly hurt her because they obviously loved her. And even though it's sad that that's how she realized it, I also think it's sweet because I do think Sophie does love her as her stepdaughter. Yeah, they had a rocky beginning, but especially over this season, I was thinking, wow, it's nice that Sophie's really becoming a character. Yeah. The way she bonds with Velma's tough but very sweet mom is really nice. Yeah. Velma's mom has just been a lovely and very kind character this season. Yeah, she's a little hard on Velma, but in a responsible way. Making sure Velma keeps her grades up, making sure, Velma is being a proper teenager who's, doing things the safe way, the smart way. Her mom character makes a lot of sense. And her as a person, not being able to become a successful published author. Yeah, I feel that, dude. I do. And then the part where she's kind to Fred. I think she would have been, not just because she's dating his dad, but just out of simple compassion. Everyone's happy to write off Fred because, he's a rich kid. He'll probably, get rewarded with a jet just to feel better. But no, she actually talks to him like a person. And even though she's hard on Velma's academic, goals because Velma can handle it, no, she actually helps Fred and helps him pursue his stupid journey to try to figure out where toast comes from for the science fair. And then the fact that it's so stupid that it's obvious that he's the only person that didn't get help from an adult, even though that's not true, but it was the most sincere project. Yeah, that gets him the award. It's like, aww. It's like, aww. Yeah, I find that funny. I find that so funny. So yeah, Fred actually became very endearing this season to me. It's such a relief from who was just aggravation last season, so good for him. And it's sweet that even though he and Daphne aren't dating in this series, he still looks out for her. They're still friends. He still calls her Daph. It's cute. Oh, but Daphne had quite an interesting little journey herself. Yeah, she, even though she's dating Velma, they do not seem happy. I think they care about each other very, very much. I think they do love each other, but their romance does not work. Yeah. Though their connection is true and real. Yeah, so if they decide not to date anymore, I still think they would, be there for each other no matter what. But anyway, Daphne goes through a bit of a Wicca phase, and the way it progresses makes total sense. Yeah, I personally haven't, but I've known a lot of people that have gone through wanting to understand witches and natural religion and paganism and all that jazz. It's a phase. Sometimes it lasts into college, but I think everyone dabbles in it for a minute. Or at least they, try a Ouija board and really feel it. Or really, really discourage it because they think it's so real. Yeah. I've been to those bad parties. But yeah, Daphne trying to, get some introspective on who she is, like with or without her friends and all that, like what she can do, I thought was done very nicely. And I think Constance Wu is a lovely voice actress. I hope she gets more work. Norville, yeah, he did really good, being everyone's friend in this season, being less of a pushover while also still being a little bit of just a softie who will, step in to help his friends. He'll step in to help Velma and Fred when they need it, and I thought that was nice. Him trying to, push his grandma, his brilliant but selfish grandma, into, being a more conscious of her actions kind of person is admirable. He does not succeed, but he tries, and I think he gets a little in there. Yeah. God. Vanessa Williams has a lovely voice. I too hope she gets more voice acting because she did a lot of good with this character. She sounded so intelligent, so sophisticated. And then when she got petty, I still believed it. She did it with heart. Let's see. Velma herself. Yeah. I will say Velma is much happier this season. One, because she is proud to have Daphne as a girlfriend, even when Daphne does ridiculous things. She is nicer to her friends, and I appreciate that. She's nicer to her family, and they're a little bit more conscious of her. Not a lot, but yeah, I think she did good this season. And here's a great spoiler. In this season, she sacrifices herself so her friends and family can get away from Scrappy, and Scrappy kills her with combination of some kind of missile from the army. But yeah, instead of her just walking out saying, oh yeah, I got out last minute, Velma dies and she becomes a ghost, and the thing that was never real in Scooby-Doo, well, it was real in some exceptions, that amazing Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and that witch movie. Anyway, it's a Scooby-Doo thing where ghosts aren't real. And now Velma is one. And I'm not 100% surprised because a lot of times this new character, Amber, who's non-binary, they kept poking into the group as if they did want to replace Velma. And, in a lot of ways, they make an excellent Velma with, being brainy, the glasses. They actually do believe in the supernatural, and that just kind of proves that there are different sides or different ways you can interpret a character like Velma. And that's fun, there's so many different ways people have reinterpreted characters, and some have been hokey and some are done brilliantly, and the fact that this show actually had two different Velmas to show in a millennial time, I thought was nice. Yeah. God, what could happen in season 3? I mean, if they just want to keep pulling at the lore of Scooby-Doo, there's plenty to use. If they want to pull at the lore of other, scary movies, teen slasher stuff, there's still plenty of material. Yeah. Is this show a little too nasty for its own good? Second season dials back down much more than the first. Is it still feminist and a bit bitter on how much power men have? Oh no, it's still up there by dial 11, but personally I like it because it's so true. I find it enjoyable. I chuckled at each one. No, it's not unfair. It's just how it is. And yeah, some people are really tired of it. Doesn't mean you have to hate men. It just means you should acknowledge how the double standards exist. Yeah. So, as silly as it is, and even though I do not recommend Velma for everybody, I mean, I feel who do I recommend Velma to? If you're a diehard Scooby-Doo fan, I feel you should. If you're an animation fan, I mean, there are moments that are definitely creative enough that I think it's worth a go. But if you're not a fan, if you don't like its weird taste in humor or how it's represented these classic characters, I can understand. Kids or adults, again, it's more just for people who have a very weird and salty sense of humor. Yeah. For me, because I did like the writing this season, and I think it's proof that things improve if you give it time. I hope it has a third season. Yeah. Velma, even though I would like you to have a third season, I have my doubts, not just because of the long list of other shows that haven't worked, but because, yeah, you just are not liked by fans because of the gross way you tell some of your jokes. And some people think you go too far to, like, speaking of women when you don't speak of all women's experience. Even though I think it was done pretty fairly, people are really hard. Like, making women characters is apparently too hard for people. God, like, what Fox Animation keeps doing is very aggravating. But anyway, Velma Season 2, I enjoyed. I think I'm crazy for enjoying it a little bit because it's pretty crass, but I enjoyed it anyway. And that is me. I hope you have a good day. Yeah, the part where somebody didn't just, like, give Norville an emotional support dog this season is a great disappointment to me. And now after Scrappy, I don't think anyone in the gang is gonna want a pet dog, which is so heartbreaking for me. Dogs need love.